Beyond Journey's End is a very typical high fantasy story about a hero and his party venturing out to defeat a big bad evil guy. Or so you would think. The story actually starts after the big bad evil that threatens the world has already been defeated. It is the story of what happens after the grand adventure is already over. Particularly enjoyable for us might be that each character's name is a German word. So there is Himmel the hero, Heiter the drunken priest, the warrior dwarf Eisen, and the mage Frieren. After reaching the town where their journey started, they celebrate and observe a beautiful meteor shower. Frieren mentions that there's a better spot from which they should observe it next time. After all, this meteor shower shows up every 50 years. Frieren is an elf. Elves in fantasy typically have a very long lifespan. While the 10-year journey or a 50-year wait is a long time for the rest of the party, it doesn't feel like much to her. The story focuses a lot on the relationship between Frieren, other people, and the concept of time. It is not just about a long life, but also about a long youth. You would expect a long-lived race to be absolutely everywhere, but elves are actually very rare. Actually, they are slowly dying out. Because they have so much time, they don't feel any urgency to have children. Why have a child now when you can just do it later? For example, in 10 years, or 30, or 50, or 150 years later. No need to hurry. Besides, there are so many fun things to do, like traveling around and going on adventures. When you always have a chance to do things later, you can end up doing less things or not appreciating the present moment enough. Personally, I watched a lot more movies back when watching TV was the primary way to watch them. I would either watch a movie when it's on, or I would miss it. Now that streaming services exist, and because my VPN costs like $130 a month, I can watch anything I want whenever I want. And because of that, I can do it later, which leads me to delaying a lot of movie nights. Back to Frieren. She goes on another adventure, on another journey for the next 50 years. When she returns, Himmel has become an old man. All of them have. They meet up and to watch the meteor shower again. A short while after that, Himmel dies of old age. Frieren wonders why she had not spent more time while she had the chance. 20 years later, Frieren visits Heiter. He is retired by now and has adopted a war orphan. He asks Frieren if she would take on Fern as an apprentice. The young girl has talent for magic, but nobody to teach her. Frieren refuses. She doesn't want to be burdened with looking after a newbie. Mages regularly face combat, and the mortality rate amongst apprentices is high. Frieren doesn't want to have that responsibility when it's about someone entrusted to her by a friend. She can't travel with someone who isn't a full-fledged mage. Heiter then asks if she would decipher a book for him that allegedly contains a spell for immortality. At his age, Heiter fears that he doesn't have much time left. I'm not asking for immortality. All I want is a little more time. Frieren spends the next 4 years living with them while deciphering the book. Meanwhile, Fern spends those 4 years relentlessly studying. Frieren says that in the last 4 years, Fern has learned more than an average mage would learn in 10. She's pushing herself too much, and that is not good. We learn why she does that in this scene. That's something you can definitely achieve eventually, but right now, it cannot be eventually. Eventually, he will pass away. He saved my life. I think it'd be such a waste for you to die now. It's been a while, but I once lost someone I cared about too. Unlike me, his heart was in the right place. He was the kind of person who would never leave behind someone in need. One day I realized something. If I were to die, I was afraid that the things I learned from him, courage, determination, friendship, all those precious memories would disappear from the world. If you have precious memories inside of yourself as well, then I think it'd be a waste for you to die. Haida has always feared dying and leaving me alone. He has done the right thing. I don't want him to regret saving me. It doesn't matter whether I'm a mate or not. Learning how to survive on my own will be the way I return his kindness. She was worth saving, and she will be just fine on her own. That's what I want him to feel. Frieren keeps deciphering the book, and Fern keeps studying, and eventually they both finish. There was nothing in there about spells for resurrection or immortality. I see. Did you know? The fear of death is unfathomable. If such spells existed, Evik himself would have used them. Then why? How has Fern turned out? She's still rough around the edges, but she can be considered a full-fledged mage by now. Is that so? So she made it in time. That means she won't slow you down then, am I right?